Namaste, my friends. Welcome to the Ancient Wisdom Channel. And for those of my friends who are celebrating Diwali, I want to wish you a very happy Diwali, many blessings. And today we're going to be talking about the new moon that happens on November 13th, 2023 at 4:29 a.m. Eastern Time in the United States. Add 10 hours and 30 minutes for India and take away 3 hours for California. I'm not going to be going over each ascendant today, but if people want that, you can contact me or communicate with me via the comments below the video or email me. But we are going to talk about the positions, what's going on with the planets, the vibe and the feeling of this new moon, the energies that are playing out. And it is a difficult new moon because of the positions of the planets. So at the end, I'm going to be suggesting some general remedies for everyone to do, because it's going to be affecting everyone in these areas. If you want to have a look at how it affects your particular chart and whether or not these transits are touching the degrees of your planets, you can contact me for a reading or consultation. So the new moon is going to be occurring in Vishaka Nakshatra, which is at 26 degrees of Libra. And it's interesting because Mars is going to be in very close conjunction degree-wise with the sun and the moon. And that creates some difficult energy. And then you also have Ketu, who's going to be in the sign of Libra, although not in a close degree, but all of these are going to be affecting the sign of Libra. So I'm going to share my screen so you can actually see what the chart looks like. So here it is. Right here you see the Kal Purush Kundali, which is the natural zodiac, with Aries in the first house. And so you see the sun, moon, and Mars and Ketu all in the sign of Libra. And Venus, the planet of relationship, is in its sign of debilitation, although it's not in its degree of debilitation, but it is not in a very comfortable position. And the sun, moon, and Mars are in the Libra sign of relationships. So the planet of relationships is in a sign of debilitation, and the sign of relationships is full of these aspects and the difficult grahas of Mars and Ketu. Now, Ketu, as many of you might know, is not an actual physical planet, but it is a calculation. It is a calculated point that relates to the sun and the moon and the shadow points in the sky. So we have sun, moon, and Mars opposite. What do I have here? So aspect-wise, we have these grahas in Libra aspecting the sign of Aries, and specifically Uranus, which is in the sign of Aries and very much in the same degree as the moon, the sun, and Mars, very close conjunction. Uranus is 26 degrees of Aries, and the sun and moon are in 26 degrees of Libra, and Mars is in 28 degrees of Libra. So it causes volatility, especially that it's Uranus there. Rahu is also there, but again, Rahu is at 0 degrees of Aries. It just entered Aries, actually. So that is also difficult because it's the position of the Gandanta zone, which is the untying of a karmic knot. The energies are quite unsettled. Now, Jupiter is also in the sign of Aries, and Jupiter is very benefic and can help. It is retrograde, but I mean, I think that this is not an easy position with all of these planets sort of working. I don't want to say against it, but it's a very challenging position. I also noticed that Mercury is here in Scorpio by itself. It's not totally isolated because it's one sign away from the moon and the sun, Mars, and Ketu, but it is by itself. And so Mercury is like a child, and it's not really happy by itself. So we have all of these difficult positions. With Mercury in Scorpio, it's likely to play a part in the difficulties that we might be feeling because it's not communicating in a very healthy way. It might be poor communication or lack of communication, or just secret communication, being the sign of Scorpio. So almost all of these grahas are in a position of difficulty, except for maybe Saturn. It's as if Saturn is in its own home, its own sign of Aquarius. The only problem I see with that overall is that it's the natural 11th house, and it signifies gains of money. And so Saturn being there might slow things down with the economy and with money issues, especially for Aries ascendants and maybe other ascendants as well. So I feel that it's likely to slow down the flow of money. And just an aside, I find it ironic that Saturn rules Aquarius, since Aquarius is very giving and Saturn is cold and dry and withholding in general. So don't be scared of this. I don't want to scare anybody. I strongly believe that every planet, every graha, every house, and every sign has a potential for negative results or positive results, depending on how you live your life, the energy that you put out in your life, your karmic acts. Things can manifest very differently. And so I want to offer some remedial ideas for everyone to use during this time, specifically for the next 4 weeks, as the new moon is known to be a sign of things to come. Since it's very much pointing toward relationship issues, and this could be relationships between you and your spouse, it could be family relationships, it could be the relationships between two countries. So that's what we need to focus on right now. We really need to give positive energy to the relationship aspects of our life and partnerships. and to focus on love and kindness. This is a remedy that is going to heal the situation that's going on in the world, and also wherever you find difficulties or challenges in relationships. Communication is super important too, because relationship completely depends on communication. Think about it. Without communication, there's no relating, there's no relationship. So pay attention to what you're saying and how you're saying it. And sometimes, communication can be nonverbal. So these are things to meditate on, to think about, to pray about if you pray, and to affirm positive things. Work on this the next 4 weeks and envision the world in a state of beauty, love, joy, kindness, and truth. Let's see if there's anything else. Here is a general remedial measure for Saturn in Aquarius in the natural 11th house. Be careful with your spending. I wouldn't spend really frivolously right now, but I would say that it would be very good to make donations to hardworking people, to people who are in a more difficult, less fortunate position than you are. If you have servants, people who are cleaning your home or driving you, a waiter, people who are in a position of servitude toward you, those people right now are your they're your Saturn, and those are the people to whom you could give a little more than normal, to channel the Saturn energy in Aquarius in a very beautiful way that would it would trigger a flow of very, very good karma. So that's it for now. If you have any questions, of course, you can contact me in the description area. You can write to me. You can email me, and I would be happy to help you out if you want a reading or consultation. So have a beautiful rest of this new moon phase and the next 4 weeks. And of course, many blessings for Diwali. Namaste.